Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to take a look at one of the most common pieces of advice out there and ask if it might actually be holding us back.
I mean, you've heard it a million times, right? At graduations, in self-help books, follow your passion. It's supposed to be the secret to a happy life. But what if you have no idea what your passion is? Or what if your passion is, something that won't pay the bills?
Well, author Cal Newport throws a huge twist into this whole idea. He says we've got it completely backwards. What if passion isn't the starting line? What if it's actually the finish line? The feeling you get after you've put in the work to get really, really good at something.
So let's dive into this. Let's explore this completely different path. Not searching for passion, but actually building it.
The whole idea here is a total mindset shift. So instead of thinking of passion as this hidden treasure you've got to go find, think of it more like a garden. It's something you have to cultivate. It grows slowly with a lot of care, deep engagement, and skill.
Now that deep engagement part, it actually has a name. And you've probably felt it. When athletes or musicians talk about being in the zone, that's what we're talking about. It's that incredible feeling where you're so locked in that everything else just disappears.
The official term is flow, and it was coined by a psychologist named Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Yeah, it's a mouthful. He got fascinated watching these artists who would get so lost in their work, they'd literally forget to eat or sleep. They weren't doing it for money. The reward was the act of doing it.
So, what does it actually feel like to be in flow? Well, it's this really cool mix of things. You're completely focused, your actions feel almost automatic, and that little voice in your head that judges everything, it just goes quiet. And suddenly hours can feel like minutes. You're not just doing something, you're totally absorbed in it. And there's a reason Csikszentmihalyi called this the optimal experience, because it's in these moments that we feel this deep, deep satisfaction. It's not just about getting stuff done. It's when we're growing and pushing our own limits and feeling amazing while we do it.
Okay, so if this state is so great, how do we get more of it in our lives? It might seem like magic, but it turns out there's actually a surprisingly simple formula for it.
Just think about playing a video game. If it's too easy, you get bored, right? If it's way too hard, you just get frustrated and give up. The magic, the fun, is in that perfect sweet spot where it's tough, but you know you have a chance. Well, it turns out our real life works the exact same way.
This chart is basically a map of our mental states. Look, when the challenge is high but your skill is low, you end up in the anxiety box. When your skill is high but the challenge is low, you're in the boredom box. Flow, that sweet spot, only happens in one place, that top right corner, where high challenge meets high skill.
Now, what's so powerful about this is that it gives you a roadmap. If you're feeling anxious about something, the answer is to build your skills. Feeling bored at work? The answer is to find a bigger challenge. You can literally steer yourself out of anxiety and boredom right into that flow channel.
So the big question is, how do you keep finding those perfectly balanced challenges? You don't just wait around for them, you have to go looking for them. And the best tool for that job is curiosity.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers say there are two kinds of curiosity. First, there's diversive curiosity. That's the restless, shallow kind that leads to endless social media scrolling. But then there's systematic curiosity, and this is the good stuff. It's a deep, deliberate drive to really, truly understand something.
And here's the absolute game changer. Systematic curiosity isn't a personality trait. It's a skill. It's something anyone can learn, practice, and get better at. It's a tool you can use.
And this is how you practice it. It's basically the scientific method, but for your own life. You observe something interesting. You come up with a little theory about it. You test that theory out. Then you look at the results. This little cycle right here, this is the engine that will help you find those perfect challenges.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces of the puzzle together. We've got this new way to think about passion, we've got the state of flow to aim for, and we've got curiosity as our tool. So what does this path look like day to day?
Well, it starts small. Like today, small. You start by just practicing being systematically curious. That curiosity will lead you to challenges that get you into flow. Spending time in flow is fun, and it automatically builds your skills. Over weeks and months, those skills turn into real mastery. And then, after all that, that's when a deep, real, lasting passion shows up. And that's maybe the biggest takeaway of all. Passion isn't the fuel you need to start the car. It's the amazing view you get at the end of a long, rewarding road trip. It's the prize for doing hard work that you actually learn to enjoy. Ultimately, this whole thing isn't just about finding a job you don't hate. It's about something bigger, what psychologists call flourishing. It's about living in a way that feels full of growth and resilience, a way where you feel like you're operating at your absolute best.
So instead of asking that giant, scary question, what is my passion? Maybe we should ask a much smaller and much more powerful question, the one you see right here. The journey to a fulfilling life might not start with a lightning bolt of inspiration. It might just start with one small, simple, curious question. What's yours?